Everybody would please stand and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have one agenda deletion. We're going to remove item 5. The folks involved with that particular item are not able to attend because they had to cancel as far as their access and availability today. Do we have a motion for the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Snell?
Aye.
McIntyre?
Aye.
Peter?
Aye.
You know, I just thought about it. We didn't do the roll call at the front side of the agenda. Better do that too.
We can do that.
Okay, let's do that again.
All right.
Could you do the roll call, please?
Yep. Snell?
Here.
McIntyre?
Here.
Peter?
Here.
Good. Okay, so the consent agenda as presented has been approved. We're now to item 2, which is claims. Any questions about item 2 or concerns or questions that we need to have answered before we get a motion to approve them?
I'll make a motion to approve the claims.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Snell?
Aye.
McIntyre?
Aye.
Peter?
Aye.
Item 3, discussion regarding increased liability premium for property in Palmyra Township with possible action. Dawn, would you like to bring this up to us and help explain what's going on here?
So Palmyra Township owns the old Palmyra Methodist Church. They also have built a new building in addition to that church building. It's used for a variety of things like they have a fundraising sale there for the church and the addition. They also have weddings at this facility as well. It's a beautiful addition that they've made. We had our insurance company, our broker, reevaluate the value of the building with the new addition. It increased from a little over $200,000 to somewhat over $700,000. We need to increase the coverage on that building, so if something happens to it, we can rebuild. I have contacted Rudolph Insurance Brokers to see what the increase will be. They had estimated at the time it would be a little over $500. I don't anticipate that it will have gone up much, but I haven't had a response yet. Would like the board's approval to go ahead and proceed with getting that insurance put in place as soon as we have.
Could you just explain our involvement as a county and why we're even involved with the insurance?
Warren County insures township property. Part of the reason is because certainly the rate that we can get as a bigger customer helps the townships, and the townships do not have the funds to insure the property.
Okay.
So the county actually owns the property, and they own it, but we insure it.
Yeah. Any questions?
No, thank you.
I don't have any questions.
So with that, the action that we're asking for then is to pay the additional insurance premium.
Yes.
Could I have a motion in that regard?
I will make a motion to increase the liability premium for the property in Palmyra Township, known as the Palmyra Church.
Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Snell?
Aye.
McIntyre?
Aye.
Peter?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do we need to state the amount, or does that need to be included in the motion, the premium amount, or?
We don't have a final amount yet.
Yeah, she
Okay.
just said that they
Thank
were
you.
bringing back.
Okay, let's move on to item 4, which is discussion regarding facilities request from HERDA with possible action. Jamie's not here, but we had some discussion about this. This would be regarding parking of their vans and also having access to a conference room and restroom facilities. Per that conversation, as you recall, we basically were proposing using the Temple property for that purpose. Any What's your thoughts here as board?
The only issue I have with an agreement with HERDA on parking their buses is that just it's aesthetically pleasing. We had, recycling situation that wasn't great across the street here. It was just not pleasing from just the way it was being taken care of. I don't want to see concerned that, they won't look proper across the street if we don't do, I want to do this right if we're going to do it. Like make sure that there's parking spaces and things are cleaned up and that they're parked in line and that type of thing. Just to, just the details around the aesthetics of it is all.
Well, it was my understanding that it was going to be gravel, so,
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think they're going to bring some rock into the
West
east side.
Or east side, yes, west.
Yeah,
East side.
and hopefully that'll help. But that I'm excited about an opportunity to have a relationship with HERDA and to talk about the future with them and potentially, a potential partnership at some point down the road, a stronger, more stable partnership with them and a strategic partnership with them. I think that's an exciting thing to pursue.
In light of what I'm hearing the board say, I am hearing that we are favorable to a relationship with HERDA and trying to work out a possible parking situation for the vans. And, but there's also a caveat with that. We also want to make sure that it's done properly and it's aesthetically does not detract from the site or the area. Is that correct?
Yep, it's a good summary.
Okay.
That's where I'm at.
Would somebody like to make a motion to that effect?
I'll make a motion to go into an agreement with HERDA on a storage parking circumstance. And I would make that on the premise that I get an opportunity to review the contract if there is a contract involved.
Okay. And do we want to tie it specifically to the Temple property, or do we want to leave that open?
Leave it open for now.
Leave it open for now. Okay. Okay. We have a motion. Is there a second?
second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call.
Snell,
Aye.
McIntyre,
Aye.
Heater,
Aye.
Very good. Moving on to the next item. Item 5 was deleted, so we'll move on to item 6. Consider approval of agreement with Unified Contracting Services, Inc. with possible action. And Tim,
This is the same agreement that I think we've had for the last 2 or 3 years. It's $3,000 annually for the monthly inspections for the fuel station there at our shop. This gets paid out of the fuel account that it's not out of our budget or the general fund. It's out of the fees that everybody pays for using that. So these are required inspections, so.
good. Any questions?
I don't have any questions.
Do we have a motion to approve this?
I'll make a motion to approve the Unified Contracting Service.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Snell,
Aye.
McIntyre,
Aye.
Heater,
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Let's see here, we'll move on to the next item, which is we are going to receive and file the reports from General Assistance, Humane Society, Recorder, and the Sheriff's Quarterly Billing Report. Are there any folks here that want to speak on behalf of the reports that have been submitted? Are there any questions from the board? Can we have a motion to?
I'll make a motion to approve, to receive and file the General Assistance, Humane Society Recorder, and the Sheriff's Quarterly Billing Report.
Do you have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Snell,
Aye.
McIntyre,
Aye.
Heater,
Aye.
Okay. Item 8, supervisor reports. Who'd like to go first?
I'll go ahead and go. The last couple weeks, primarily I've been in a couple of facilities committee meetings. One of those meetings was a combined meeting with our safety committee. And one of the things that I'm pretty excited about right now is the elevation and the importance of safety in our facilities, and just our employee culture and the feel for safety is being elevated here. And so I'm excited about this work of the safety committee and the work of the facilities committee, and them working together to bring some good safety ideas and plans to put in place for Warren County. So that's pretty much my report for now.
All right, thank you. Spoke to citizens concerning roads clearing, recycling, and a driveway concern. Sent changes to the county attorney concerning the draft for the 28E for Communications Project, also known as WarrenCom. The EEC meeting, which is our exploratory EMS committee. We had a meeting, and then we had another one with the chiefs to go over the direction. With the feedback from the chiefs, we needed to change direction. So they want the county to take ownership of the EMS. So that was something we're going to be working on this week. Also attended a special meeting for the redistricting of the supervisors map for 2025. That was exciting because the state didn't make any changes. That was such a credit to our committee that had headed that up. Then I attended the Lacona, interview, excuse me, the safety committee meeting with the facilities committee. Thank you, Darren, for your remarks. I'll just leave it with that. Again, we had a closed session and another work session, and going over things for budget. Looking forward to that this week and next week. Then caucus night was exciting last night with the snow. In attendance was our one of our motor graders, and I can't believe that he was actually there. His wife drug him there, though. But it was just a tribute to some of the people that we have working to clear our roads. This morning I attended the Warren County REAP meeting to look at funding for local projects, mainly trails and open spaces where the communities can and the public can go. When I first got on the board, I think we were 49th in the nation when it comes to open areas. And the problem with that is our children did not want to stay in Iowa. They wanted to move to other places where they had lots of outdoor recreation areas. So here in Warren County, we're very blessed to have our nature center. We have a very active community who donates and their time, their money, their land for the conservation efforts in Warren County. And we have that beautiful Annette Center as a result of that. But it's still something that we have not moved. I think we moved up to 48th, and then now we're back down to 49th in the nation as a overall in Iowa for outdoor recreational spaces. But in Warren County, we're a little ahead of that, so I think that we should be proud of that. But there's still work to do. So anyways, in the meeting this morning, we talked about funding for connectivity for an overall plan to connect all of the communities together. Anyhow, that's my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Jordan, we've already passed the reports. Do you have anything you'd like to share? We can go back there and catch that up if you'd like to.
Thank you for coming back to me. We had a customer at the counter. Okay. So we had 209 deeds recorded. we had 203 mortgages, and then we did 90 passport applications and 115 photos. As far as DNR, we did 381 renewals and 45 new machines. I told you guys last meeting that I would pull some numbers from 2022 versus 2023 so we could maybe see the difference in what was recorded last year versus the year prior. I thought it was kind of interesting because the money that we brought in for recording was down last year from the year prior, from 22. 22, we did 2,709 in deeds, and we only did 15 less. So we were selling pretty similar property. Mortgages is where it went down quite a bit. We did, in 2023, we recorded 948 less mortgages than 22. So I just thought that was kind of telling that
That's an indicator of economic activity.
Yep.
far less refinancing is what we're seeing because releases were down too. So
So what's the percentage reduction between 22 and 23 on mortgages then?
Ooh, I don't have my calculator up here. 22, we recorded 3,560 mortgages. And in 23, we recorded 2,612.
400.
Significant.
Yeah, it is significant.
I mean, it was over $45,000 in recording fees less.
Really?
Because, I mean, we charge per page for recording, so. In passports, a plus. In 22, we did 621 applications. And in 23, we did 1,248. So we increased our passport income by a little over 33,000.
Oh, you're catching up then.
We're trying to, because we can't control what comes in with recording, but we can control how many passport applications we take, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we had talked off to the side here about some potential thoughts or ideas. Are there any legislative issues that maybe relate to the fees area that,
We're actually trying, we've got several, as a Recorders Association, we're going to go back to legislation and see if we can increase the recording fees, because it's been a really long time since those recording fees have been adjusted.
Yeah.
And the fees for us to house all of this is only increased on the recorder side, on the county side. So I think that they're doing some really good work. They've put a lot of time and effort into it, so hopefully we'll get somewhere soon, hopefully within this. I don't know if it's going to be within this legislative session, but hopefully the next, if they can't get everything pulled together in time.
we had talked just briefly about some of the impacts that the treasurer's office has had with regard to fee changes and what an impact it's probably going to make on our budget at the county this next year. So I'm assuming what you're indicating here is we could have a similar effect if we could have some legislative change as well.
Absolutely.
Okay. Anything else?
That's all I had, unless you guys had any other questions.
No, thank you.
Thank you guys so
Thank
much.
you, Jordan.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
coming back.
Thank you very much. I'm going to basically pass on the supervisory report. I think most of our extra meetings have been covered by my colleagues up here, and we're going to continue to move forward with the budgetary sessions coming up. So that's really our big thing on our agenda right now. And we will be going into a lot of series of meetings next 2 weeks in particular. And as we do that, we'll start to get a picture on what the upcoming fiscal year budget will look like. I'd encourage people who have an interest and want to follow what we're doing to stay engaged and to be a part of the process. This is where the decisions will start to be made and formulated, and people will start to bring forth the requests. So that would be the notice I would want to put out to citizens of Warren County, that if you do have an interest and you want to follow and be a part of what decisions are going to have to be made, and notice I said have to be made. We don't have any choice. We're going to have to deal with some tough stuff probably, as we always do. So that would be my call to action on the part of the public. Is there anything else that needs to come before the board? Anybody that wants to speak from the public? Seeing that there's no one here to speak otherwise, our next meeting will be February 6th at 9:30 a.m. This meeting is adjourned. Please take the roll call.
Snell,
Aye.
McIntyre,
Aye.
Peter.
Aye.
Good. Thank you. Meeting's adjourned.